Welcome to another episode of Stripping Architecture, the platform where you learn about a city and its urban phenomena in broken English. In the previous episode, we were talking about soft gated communities. These are communities, neighborhoods or urban areas that act and feels like they are gated, yet they don't have gates. Sounds a bit confusing? Well, follow up with the following video and find out some more about it. This is Brussels. This region that you see over here used to be one compact municipality. In 1847 happened this. It got literally divided in two fragments. Why? Well, briefly speaking, because the authorities wanted to create one elite promenade that will connect the downtown of Brussels with the city forest. And in order to do so, they just had to simply cut one existing municipality in two pieces. Due to the heavy industrialization of the city cores, in the late 18th and 19th century, promenades were heavily promoted as a refreshing element for the cities. At the same time, they were also seen as a potential for development of new districts for the wealthy bourgeoisie and aristocracy, because there was no more place for their majesty in the dirty industrial centers of the city. Therefore, this zone was well protected by the state services, the real estate was often accessible only to the elite, and thanks to its naturally higher sea level altitude than the rest of the city, it functioned as a gated community. So, it sounds familiar. Not gated, but it functioned as one. Anyways, we're not that much interested in the history of the cities as much as in their current state. Even though Brussels today is a heavily democratized place and everyone can walk wherever they want, we still see active traces of this silent but heavily controlled public space. This silent control of public spaces, we want to call it soft gated communities. And it literally comes in different shapes and different services. Stay tuned and let's have a look together. The north side of Avenue Louise begins with this expensive row of shops over here, and then right next to it on the Place Stéphanie, it's a very expensive hotel called Steigenberger. And just 50 meters away from the first place, we start seeing some banks, and on the other side we have a very expensive toy shop, which I don't know who can afford it. And then we also have expensive clothing shop, Crossroads. And right next to the hotel, we have the Rolex shop. As we're moving forward, we start seeing more offices with giant lobbies in the ground floor with plenty of cameras and different equipment for controlling services. And right next to this big office building, we start noticing and seeing more of this kind of stylish architecture buildings which are being recognized as building heritage. Then along the street we start seeing very expensive furniture shops where, for example, this chair over here costs only 700 euros. Right on the side from this big boulevard we still get to see more expensive hotels like this one over here, Louizalaan, with this kind of, you see, medieval knight guarding us on the front door, and then of course we see plenty of expensive cars and luxurious restaurants down there. And again, of course, plenty of these beautiful protected building entrances. As you can see, it's nicely written. Surveillance. Ooh. Lawyers' offices are all around and they're a common occurrence. And then more cameras here because here is the Embassy of Ecuador. Then we have the Embassy of Croatia. We found the Embassy of Paraguay and Panama. The Embassy of Italy. And further on the south of this big boulevard, we have gated community in its finest. And of course, on the other side, it ends with a beautiful, gorgeous park. So, from what we can see on site, we can easily strip down the space of the city down to this sketch, where we can clearly see how the hotels, the embassies, the advocates, expensive shops, all these elite services are bit by bit in function of controlling the space, where you can see this human here trying to walk on that avenue like through ray of controlling laser beams. And if we go back to our previous episodes where we showed different luxurious entrances like certain kind of soft gated communities, we can see that these are actually just extension of the heavily controlled public space. We hope you like this show. Please tell us a bit more about your city and if you can find these kind of soft gated communities. And as always, please subscribe, follow us at The Strip Architects on every social media, and follow up and stay tuned to Stripping Architecture, the place where you learn about the city's architecture and urban phenomena in, you can say it, broken English. See you.